Hello and welcome to The Buzz. My name is Tom Behmer. I'm a little disturbed, right? Have you ever seen the movie A Beautiful Mind where the just go nuts? And that's how I'm feeling right now because there's all these numbers that have been just... Did you see all the points scored in the playoffs last week? Holy cow, let's just start there. Last week in the state playoffs, in the 64 games that were played, there were a total of 4,142 points scored. What got me on this numbers kick? It was our sports editor, Jay Priner, who covered a game last week in the 8-man ranks. He covered a Randolph's win over Johnson Brock and came back and said, they score a lot of points in 8-man football. And he's right. In Class D1 games last week, 82.6 points per game combined. In Class D2, 82.8 points combined. In Class D1 and D2, there were 15 teams last week that scored 70 or more points, and there were 44 teams that scored 50 or more points. That's a lot of points. So we'll immediately start in Class D1, where Bloomfield temporarily held the record for points in a game when they scored 80 points in a win over Nebraska City Lords, but later that night, that record was broken because High Plains Community defeated Howells Dodge 84-40. Bloomfield, however, is still part of the record because combined with Nebraska City Lords, they had 128 points in one football game. My goodness, what's going on? And there are several other area teams in Class D1 that are capable of putting up a lot of points. Neely Oakdale, for example, last week had one player, Garrett Alamang, scored 8 touchdowns, 5 rushing, 3 receiving, in a win over Pender. That was a 75-32 win over Pender. A lot of points. And Bradley Bunner had 141 yards on 28 carries. Teammate Kobe Proprotsky, 17 carries for 167 yards. Yes, I have trouble saying his name. As Clarkson Lee defeated Diller and Farmer Odell 52-26. Elgin Public Pope John, another Class D1 team that can score points, a big reason for that. Andrew Fangman, the running back, had over 200 yards again in their first round win over Axtell to go over 2,000 yards on the year. That's almost as many yards as we had points last week. No, it's almost half as many yards as we had points last week. Chambers Wheeler Central in Class D2, they scored points. They had 46 points in the first quarter. Then they took it easy and won 60-6 over Wallace in Class D2. But wait. There are a few teams that play really good defense. One of those teams actually plays more defense than anyone. Wait, they don't play more defense, they play better defense than anyone in the state because they play such good defense. They're rarely on the field defensively because they force so many 3-and-outs. That's Norfolk Catholic. The Knights held Falls City to 83 total yards offensively in their first round win, 42-0. They were actually ahead 42-0 at halftime. Could have been a lot worse, but they got a lot of valuable experience for their second stringers. The return of Aaron Hoff to the defensive line for Norfolk Catholic has made them even more formidable in Class C1 than they were prior to his return. Another team that plays very good defense is in Class C2, and that is Battle Creek. Battle Creek was a 53-0 winner over Elmwood Murdoch in the first round of the Class C2 state playoffs last week. And Battle Creek held Elmwood Murdoch to just 109 yards of total offense. So Norfolk Catholic one-upped them by 26, so they 26-upped them. But Battle Creek proved that they are legit, kind of like Hammer. They're too legit to quit. The big thing for Battle Creek is getting to that championship round this year. They've come so close in the past few years. This year, they seem ultra-focused, and they seem ready to win some football games in November. Another team that played really good defense last week in Class A was Norfolk High. They were a 12-10 winner over Millard South to advance past the first round of the playoffs for the first time since 2009 in a game that was live streamed right here at NorfolkDailyNews.com. You can still find that archive here at NorfolkDailyNews.com if you want to watch it again. If you don't watch it again, it's National Sandwich Day, so get yourself a sandwich. Keep that sandwich on hand, and on Friday, watch Norfolk High travel to Bellevue West for a very difficult matchup. Bellevue West at this point in the season is averaging 54.5 points per game. The only team that's competed with them so far is Millard North. Look for a competitive game Friday in Bellevue, and also look for that one to stream live at NorfolkDailyNews.com. Why? Because we love our sandwiches and we love our housewives. That's what we're celebrating today. My name is Tom Behmer for The Buzz.